and welcome to our channel. This is Sailing Aequus. My name's Philippa.
My name's James.
We wanted to tell you a little bit about ourselves and where we first started and how this all began. So back in January 2017, we were in South Africa, Cape Town, visiting family, and we went for a drink in a bar, and a guy came up to us. His name is Darryl.
Cheers, Darryl.
Cheers, Darryl. And he asked us to go for dinner a few days later. We went for dinner and he was an extremely interesting guy. He spent about 4 or 5 hours telling us all about his sailing that he'd been doing for pretty much the most of his life. And well, James was absolutely fascinated.
Yeah, I mean, I think it set off a little spark in my head, and he was talking about how he'd sailed across the Atlantic and how he'd sailed from the Mediterranean down the Indian Ocean to South Africa when he was younger, and listening to his stories and adventures he went on. And I didn't actually even realise it was possible for a sort of normal average person to sail across an ocean. So as soon as we got back from dinner, I started Googling the cost of sailboats and I started searching YouTube.
I remember that night actually.
And I think the first channel I came across was Delos. And I just remember thinking how amazing it was what they were doing, the countries they were visiting, the people they were meeting and the adventures that they were going on. So I was like constantly saying, Philippa, look at this video. And she was like, what's this? What's all this about?
Every time I'd come into the room, I actually caught you looking.
Yeah, but it kind of opened my eyes to another way of living your life. And at the time, I was gearing up to sell my business, and Philippa was working in recruitment in London, luxury brand recruitment in London. And one weekend, I think the Southampton boat show was on, and I said to her, let's go to the boat show, let's just have a look. We weren't serious about buying a boat at all. I just thought it'd be a nice day out. So we went there, we looked at a lot of boats, but then we went to the Bavaria stand and we went on a couple of other Bavarias, and then eventually we ended up on this Bavaria. Well, not actually this boat, but a Bavaria C57, this model of boat.
Yeah, it was the third one we'd been on, wasn't it? Yeah.
And Philippa went on this, and when she stepped on the boat, she was like, oh my God, this isn't much smaller than my apartment in London. I could live in this. And I think they were the fatal words you said, because I was like, right.
Inception.
Yeah, so we had dinner that night and I said, look, this is a crazy idea, but when I sell my business, why don't you quit your job and why don't we buy a boat and sail around the Mediterranean for a couple of years or a year or two? And she said, that sounds crazy, but let's look into this. And that's essentially what we did. We ordered the boat. I think we put the order in for the boat at the end of 2017.
Yeah, right on the last day. It was the 31st of December. I think it was pretty much the last day. And bear in mind, we bought a boat and had no experience whatsoever. I had never sailed, ever.
Yeah, so I'd done a little bit with my father many years ago.
In a dinghy.
In a motorboat. But I could sail a dinghy and I could do a bit of windsurfing, but I'd never sailed a sailing yacht like we're on now. So we decided to go back to Cape Town, and we went to the Yachtmaster sailing school, and we both did our competent crew courses, and then I did my day skipper course there. And Cape Town is a great place to learn to sail because they have hectic winds pretty much every day, and they've got pretty big seas.
35 knots.
Yeah, I think the first time Philippa went on a sailing boat, it was 30 knots of wind with sort of 2-3 metre waves.
Yeah.
So.
And South Africa isn't really forgiving with winds. I think the third night that we were on the sailboat, there was a storm.
But
I think I nearly left actually at that point.
Yeah, to be fair, taking your girlfriend or your wife to the boat show is a great way to get permission to buy a boat, but a way to get the deal broken is to go to a sailing school where they learn on 30 odd foot boats with 6 other guys and no doors to the toilets, no doors to the head.
Taxi!
It was enough to put Philippa off, but
it was okay.
She stuck with it.
Yeah, that's fine.
And our boat got delivered, I think 6-7 months later in the summer. Yeah. And the plan was to leave the UK, leave Swanwick in Southampton, near Southampton, and sail to Malta in the Mediterranean. But because Philippa and I were both fairly inexperienced, we decided to hire a skipper for that 3-week passage and to learn on our boat from an experienced skipper as we went, and I think that was a really good idea.
Yeah, no matter how much you do courses at the beginning, I think there's nothing like actually sailing to be able to learn and understand what's going on along the way. Yeah. And I think we learned more in those 3 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, sailing courses are great, and everyone should definitely do them.
And they were fantastic in Cape Town.
They were really good. But in a week, you don't get to experience different weather. You don't get to experience different traffic. You know, different ships that you're going to have to give way to or navigate around. So 3 weeks on your own boat is a great learning experience.
I think also we should say that when we got to Malta, our skipper had actually left us, and we were out on our own for the first time. We had left Malta, so we were leaving Maltese waters, and within about an hour we managed to get a lobster pot caught round the prop, and James had to get full scuba dive gear on and go underneath the boat. And this was literally an hour for the first time we'd been left on our own. And I think it was just a test to see, you know, really what we were capable of. But we did it.
We got untangled, and we spent 2 seasons in the Mediterranean. So we sailed around Spain, the Balearics, Sardinia, Sicily, Italy, and then back to Spain for the winter. And then the following season we went from Spain all the way to Turkey, and then back through the Greek islands, back through Sicily, Italy, and then to the Balearics. Yeah. And then we headed out through the Gibraltar Straits to the Canary Islands, and we actually left the boat in the Canary Islands over Christmas last year.
Christmas 2019.
Yeah, and then we sailed across the Atlantic
which I said I would never do.
Yeah, I mean, this was a thing. I thought I'd have done well getting 2 years out of Philippa in the Mediterranean, but then I said, you know, look, if we're really going to do this, we need to sail across to the Caribbean. We need to sail across an ocean. And you did really well. I mean, we both did really well.
I think you never really know what you're capable of until you actually do something. So it's putting yourself out of your comfort zone completely and just going for it.
But anyway, we're 3 years in now. The boat's 3 years old. We're now in the ABC Islands, which is a Dutch set of islands just off the coast of Venezuela. We're actually in an island called Bonaire at the moment. And yeah, we've absolutely loved it. And I think for me especially, I think we've really realised how fortunate we are to be doing this now, because with Corona going on around the world, even though to a certain extent it has limited the countries we can go to and the procedures that are in place when we arrive at those countries, it's a million miles away from what's going on at home, wouldn't you say? Yeah. You know, we're really lucky.
We are very fortunate.
So we've sort of launched this channel in order to share our adventures with you.
Yeah. So we hope you enjoy watching us, and thank you so much for watching in advance. And if anyone wants to ask us anything, please fire away. We'll be happy to answer, and enjoy sailing with us.
Yeah, please hit the subscribe button, and we'll have new videos every week, and we hope to share those with you soon.
Thanks for watching. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.